This is Pam from the Vanilla Bean Kitchen, and today I'm going to share with you the recipe of the delicious sticky toffee pudding cake. We all love eating sticky toffee puddings during Christmas with oodles of toffee butter sauce, or the vanilla sauce or chocolate sauce or whatever you like to have. This cake is actually a delicious blend of a fruit cake and the goodness and gooiness of a sticky toffee pudding. If you like a mix of this recipe is just for you. So the ingredients needed for this cake are very simple. I think you can find it in any household pantry. We almost these things are always there in the pantry. So say you have guests for dinner, you're having guests over for dinner and you want to make something special and nice and little offbeat, different from the regular cakes, you can definitely whip this up. Okay. So what we've got here is 75 grams of all-purpose flour or Maida that is available in the regular supermarkets. We have 75 grams of brown sugar. Let me tell you this, brown sugar is traditionally used in the recipe. First, it gives that rich dark brown color. Also, it gives that slight nuttiness which adds to the flavor of the toffee pudding. But if you do not have brown sugar in your pantry, go ahead and use the regular white sugar that you find, that is usually found in the pantry. Okay. I have about 65 grams of unsalted butter which is softened. Basically, I kept it out of the refrigerator an hour before planning to bake this, and this has become soft and creamy now, which I can nicely whip up. Okay. I have 1 teaspoon of good quality vanilla essence, 2 eggs again at room temperature, and here I have a date puree. Now how I got this puree is I chopped up 100 grams of dried dates. Dried dates are very readily available in your regular supermarkets. Get them, bring them home, chop them up, put it in a food processor, basically make them into fine small pieces, and to that I added half cup of boiling water and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. So I put all that together, 100 grams of dates, half cup of hot water and 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. I put them all together and let them sit for about 15 minutes to half an hour till this mix becomes soft. And then I put it in a mixie, blitzed it, and this is the puree that I got. And this is the puree that I'm going to use for the cake batter. Okay. So to start this, I have my oven preheating at 175 degrees centigrade, and I have also greased a pan. This is about a 6-inch pan, about 2.5 inch height, will give us about 500 grams, half kg of a cake. Okay, so I've done all these. My oven is preheating, as I told you. You should please preheat for about 15 to 20 minutes. And now we're going to start the process. So what we're going to do is use the butter. First we're going to cream the butter. So I'm going to put the butter in a bowl. Okay. It should be nice and soft so that you can make it cream and beat it to a lovely consistency. I'm using a hand beater, and for a hand blender I'm using it at a medium speed. You can definitely do it by hand, but it's too much of a task, so I prefer using a hand blender for this. You're going to beat it to a nice creamy consistency. Your butter should start looking pale and white and kind of become, should rise up. It should look nice and voluminous. Now, once that has happened, we'll slowly start adding our sugar to it. Just adding my sugar. Just going to add it. Just a moment. So I'm adding it all at one shot. We have 75 grams of sugar. And now we're going to beat it again. Creaming together. This is called the creaming process. Okay. Our butter and sugar mix is coming in nicely. It's becoming nice and creamy, as you can see it. Now what we're going to do is add the eggs one by one. So break in our eggs. Again, the eggs have to be at room temperature. Ensure they are not cold. Okay, and then we beat in again till the egg mix comes in, mixes in properly. And now we add the second egg to our mix. Okay. Mix it again. You can see the batter, the mix is getting nice and fluffy, and you know, it's starting to look very nice, coming in all together. So here we are done. Our egg, sugar, butter mix has all come together. We don't need the blender anymore. So what we're going to now do is add our other ingredients, which is our vanilla. Okay, pour in the vanilla. And now we're going to start adding the dry ingredient, which is the flour, and along with it, alternatively, we will alternate the dry with the wet. This is the puree. Okay, we'll put it all together and then we'll mix it. Don't put it all together. It will obviously take away a lot of the batter, that the air that we've created in the batter. I'm going to add it little by little. Okay, so here we go. We add a little, and again now we are not using the hand blender. We are using a spatula to fold it in. As you're folding, ensure you also scrape the sides of the bowl, as well as pick up any dry flour that's at the bottom of the bowl. Basically what you're trying to do is mixing it with a very light hand and seeing to it that there is no dry flour that's visible. You know, they all get mixed. Okay, so we mix it. To add a bit of our date puree. This is actually a delicious cake, you know, it's yummy. This date and all, when it goes in the cake, it makes it so rich, just delicious. Okay, we keep adding. So now we're going to add the rest of the flour to it. We're going to keep mixing. Again, as I tell you that when you mix now, scrape the sides of the bowl as well as you know, the bottom of the bowl, so that you kind of pick out any bit of the dry flour that's left and you mix it all in the batter. This just looks delicious. This looks lovely actually. Okay, so we make this lovely delicious batter, and then we're going to add the rest of the date puree. Okay, let me tell you this, if you like cinnamon and you know, you want to give an edge to it, you can also add a touch of cinnamon powder. You can also add nuts if you want. I mean, a lot of people like nuts, so you can add nuts. Nuts will give you a lovely crunch to the cake. I'm just sticking to the date puree, but these are just, there are a million things actually you can do with the cake. Just look at the batter, nice thick batter. Okay, here we are done. And now what I'm going to do is just clean up the place, and now I'm going to pour this batter in my greased bowl. Again, I told you this is about a 6-inch bowl, 2.5-inch height, will give us close to about 500 grams of cake. Okay, my oven is preheating at 175 degrees centigrade. Always preheat your oven before you start baking anything. Okay, you should preheat before putting your baking pan. Okay, so I have poured the cake batter in my greased pan, and I'm going to go and put it in the oven, which I have been preheating at 175 degrees centigrade, and this will go in for about 45 minutes to an hour, or till the time when you insert a toothpick or a skewer in the middle of the cake and it comes out clean. Okay, so I'm going to go and put this in the oven, and I'll see you once the cake is done. Okay, so it's been 45 minutes. My cake had been baking for about 45 minutes in my oven. I've just taken it out. And now, as I told you how to check the doneness of the cake, I'm going to use a wooden skewer to check if my cake is done. See, you can also tell the cake is done from the thing like it's the cake has come out from the sides of the pan. So that is another way of telling you. I'll also show you how it is when you insert the skewer and it comes out clean. Okay, so your cake is now done. You should probably, rest it for about 10 to 15 minutes before cutting it, but I'm too greedy. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. It's hot, so use a bread knife to loosen the sides of the pan. Okay. Okay. And now you can take your serving platter and then you can actually invert this directly on the pan. Okay, so now I've inverted the cake directly on my serving platter, and here we go. Our cake is now ready to be served. Now I'll just turn it over. You just see how it looks. It's hot. There it is. So now this is ready. Now you can drizzle toffee sauce over it. You can drizzle chocolate sauce over it. You can also have it plain. It's, as I told you, it's an anytime cake. I'm going to show you how it looks when I cut it. Okay. Let me just cut a slice for myself. Nice moist cake, and you can see it's nice and really nice. You can see the dates and you can see the bits and pieces of it, and trust me, when you eat it with your favorite sauce, when you drizzle it with some chocolate sauce or toffee sauce, it's going to be amazing. It's just going to be delicious. Okay, so do let me know, try out the recipe, let me know how it turns out, and till then, happy baking. Bye bye.